What if I told you, the most powerful nation in the world never planned to enter World War II? That for over 2 years they watched from the sidelines, debating, hesitating, hoping the war would never reach their shores, and then, in just 110 minutes everything changed. A moment so shocking, so unexpected. It dragged the United States into the deadliest conflict in human history, and changed the course of the entire world forever. This is the story of that moment. It's late 1941, the world is burning, Nazi Germany has conquered most of Europe, London is under constant bombing, the Soviet Union is locked in a brutal fight for survival after Hitler's betrayal. In Asia, Imperial Japan is expanding like wildfire, invading China, taking over colonies, building an empire in the Pacific. And the United States, they're officially neutral. President Franklin D. Roosevelt knows war might be inevitable, but most Americans are against it. Memories of the First World War are still fresh. The lost sons, the endless trenches, the broken promises of peace. The American people want no part of Europe's war. Yet, beneath the surface, tensions are boiling. The Japanese Empire has a plan to dominate the Pacific. But there's one problem. The United States stands in their way. Washington has imposed crippling economic sanctions on Japan, freezing their assets, cutting off vital oil supplies. Without oil, Japan's war machine will grind to a halt. The Japanese military leadership knows they have two options: back down, or strike before America can react. They choose the second. Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, a tropical paradise, a place where American sailors wake to sunshine, calm waters, and the sound of gulls in the air. To most, it feels far from danger. But to Japan, Pearl Harbor is the heart of America's Pacific Fleet. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, all anchored in neat rows like targets waiting to be hit. In secret, Japan's Navy trains for a bold, unprecedented strike, an aerial assault that will cripple America before they can even fight back. No one in Hawaii knows it yet, but in less than 24 hours, the calm blue waters will turn black with smoke and red with blood. On the evening of December 6th, President Roosevelt reads a message from Japan's government. A message filled with diplomatic words but no real resolution. He senses something is wrong. He even tells an aide, "This means war." But in Hawaii, sailors relax. Some are at dances, others at the movies. Many are writing letters home. The air is warm. The mood is peaceful. Far out in the Pacific Ocean, however, 6 Japanese aircraft carriers are cutting through the waves. On their decks sit more than 350 aircraft, bombers, torpedo planes, fighters, each armed and ready. The pilots are briefed. Tomorrow morning, they will strike without warning. They know the risks. They also know the goal: deliver a blow so devastating America will be too shocked to fight back. December 7, 1941. It's just before 6 a.m. American radar operators on Oahu detect something unusual: a large formation of aircraft approaching from the north. They assume it's a scheduled group of American bombers arriving from the mainland. The warning is dismissed. Meanwhile, Japanese pilots put on their headbands, the hachimaki, a symbol of courage and focus. Their leader, Commander Mitsuo Fuchida, gives the order. In Japanese, "Totsugeki!" Attack! The sky turns black, gentle Hawaiian morning, birds chirping, the low hum of distant engines growing louder. Then, the first piercing roar of aircraft diving. It's 7:48 a.m. The Japanese attack begins. From the northeast, the first wave of bombers, torpedo planes and fighters descends upon Pearl Harbor like a swarm of hornets. The lead pilot, Mitsuo Fuchida, sends a signal back to the fleet, 3 short bursts of code that will echo in history. Tora, 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 meaning tiger, 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 the coded phrase for total surprise achieved. The first torpedo planes skim low over the harbor waters, releasing their deadly cargo. Long white wakes streak toward the anchored battleships. At 7:55 a.m., the first torpedo slams into the side of the USS Oklahoma. The ship shudders violently. Water rushes in. Sailors are thrown from their bunks. Alarms scream. Within minutes, the Oklahoma begins to capsize, trapping hundreds inside. Nearby, the USS West Virginia takes multiple hits and starts sinking slowly into the shallow harbor floor. What had been a quiet Sunday morning was now a nightmare. In the skies, Japanese Zero fighters swoop down, strafing the airfields and streets with machine gun fire. On the ground, sailors scramble for cover, some barefoot, some still in pajamas. and everywhere. The sound of explosions, screams, and the relentless drone of enemy engines. At 8:06 a.m., a Japanese high-altitude bomber releases a single armor-piercing bomb over the USS Arizona. The bomb pierces the forward deck and detonates inside the ship's ammunition magazine. The result is catastrophic. A blinding fireball engulfs the front half of the ship, followed by a thunderous explosion that can be heard for miles. The Arizona is lifted out of the water before crashing back down, broken, burning. Over 1,100 men perish instantly. To this day, the Arizona lies at the bottom of Pearl Harbor, a tomb for those who never made it home. Amid the chaos, acts of heroism unfold everywhere. On the USS Nevada, gunners fire back at the attacking planes despite being completely exposed. The Nevada's crew manages to get the ship moving toward the harbor entrance, becoming a rallying point for others. At Hickam Field, airmen sprint to their planes trying to take off under fire. Some are shot down before their wheels even leave the ground. And in the water, sailors swim through burning oil slicks to rescue shipmates, ignoring their own wounds to save others. At 8:54 a.m., the second wave hits. Dive bombers scream down on the remaining battleships, cruisers, and airfields. Hangars are shredded. Fuel tanks explode into towering columns of black smoke. Hospitals fill with the wounded. The sky over Pearl Harbor is now a swirling mix of fire, ash, and falling debris. The sun is hidden. In just 2 hours, the pride of the U.S. Pacific Fleet had been reduced to burning wreckage. 18 ships were sunk or damaged. Nearly 200 aircraft were destroyed, and most devastating of all, 2,403 Americans were dead. Word of the attack spreads like wildfire across the United States. Radios interrupt Sunday church services. Families huddle around their sets, stunned by the news. In Washington, President Roosevelt is already drafting the words he will deliver to Congress the next day. Words that will become immortal, a date which will live in infamy. The sleeping giant has been awakened.